everyone, welcome back. My name is Melissa, the owner of Cali Meets NYC, and we are a home fragrance business based in Newark, New Jersey. And I make videos all about candle making, business tips, and things in between. So I'm gonna get right into it. This video is about my worst sellers and my best sellers of 2022. And let me tell you, I was in shock when I looked at my numbers. Let's get into it. So, my bestseller has always been a bestseller since it's launched. And this is to no surprise to me. It's my lavender and ylang linen and room spray. This thing, let me tell you, customers can't get enough of it. I can't get enough of it. My husband can't get enough of it. You spray it and it knocks you out and makes you relax. It's top seller. It not only is a top seller, but it also is one of my highest profit margins. So that's number one. That lavender sold out every time, and it is currently sold out on our website right now. So number two is the lavender and ylang candle tin. So our candle tins are 3.5 ounces, and because everybody loves the room and linen spray, why not also have a candle tin in the same scent? So this scent is definitely one of our top sellers. If you do not have a lavender in your line, you need to put one in there. I am obsessed with lavender. I get frequent migraines from anxiety and just kind of overworking and not being able to relax. And I knew initially when I started my candle brand, I need to have a lavender in there, but not any lavender, one that is a little complex. And this one is complex, and it has some grassy notes. It has some sweet notes. It's a very, very nice blend. So, and every time we have it at a market or, people receive their package, they swoon over it. Absolutely wonderful. Being that, the top two sellers are lavender, I'm actually going to give 6 of my top best sellers instead of 5, and then 5 of my worst sellers. So you can see the difference in fragrance notes and things of that nature. On to number 3. It's our rose, amber, and sandalwood candle tin. Our candle tins obviously do very, very well. They're 3.5 ounces. They burn for 25 plus hours. They are in these shallow tins. They're super cute, and it makes for a really cute gift or a nice introductory way to our business. This particular one, so if you didn't know, we have zip code candles. Yes. All of our candles are named after zip codes, and this particular zip code is 94612. It's a part of our signature collection, and it was actually named after Oakland, California. And that was the zip code I was living in when I met my husband. So it's a part of our origin story. It smells so beautiful, so complex. It's rose, but has undertones of sandalwood and patchouli and amber, and so it smells warm and complex. I'm not one for rose scent, but this one is. It's opulent, but it's so good, so good. So it's no wonder why customers love it. Number 4 is our cashmere and vanilla. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know. Vanilla, yes, vanilla. Our vanilla it's not the typical vanilla. It's not just basic. It has some undertones of peach blossoms, and it's warm and it's light and it's airy and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. This particular one is our Candleton again. It's named after 10013 zip code, and that is in Manhattan. And that was actually the zip code that I was working in when I first moved back to New York. So it reminds me of the Soho area and just being, in amongst the crowd and just being in that environment. There's a lot of shops in Soho, New York, and it's just one of those things where, it's very sexy, but casual and inviting at the same time. So number 5 is the Creamy Papaya. The Creamy Papaya is zip code 10035, and that was Harlem. That was the zip code I first moved to. I was staying with a family friend, and that's the zip code I was living in when I first moved back to the East Coast. So that's that, and it smells very tropical, and this was in the summer, and so it kind of reminds me of like going to the different bodegas and just picking up some fruit and just being in New York, being in that vibe. If you know the hot summer, sweaty, sweet, sticky, this is the quintessential warm summer days that you long for. And this is again in our Candleton, in our 3.5 ounce Candleton. Customers love it, and I can see why, because it's really great. One, stocking stuffer. 2, it's really great to gift it to somebody, and also to try a scent if you're not sure if you're going to love the scent. So on to number 6. And I'm really excited that this one made the top. And the reason why I wanted to include 6, because this is a newer product. So being that this particular product has only been in our line since October, and it's already number 6 on our bestseller. I can just see it doing so much higher, and I'm really curious as to how far it goes in 2023, and if it ranks higher than our lavender, linen, and room spray. I'm really curious this year. That is no other than our grapefruit and honeysuckle body butter. Now, I've been teasing body butter throughout the whole entire year, and had decided to make that launch in September. So in September, I decided to make the launch for body butter. And our grapefruit and honeysuckle has sold tremendously well. And I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to feel about it in body butter. I wasn't sure how customers were going to react to it. I wasn't even sure how excited our customers were. And I'm going to be honest, the launch for our body butter didn't do so hot. But the moment we started gaining traction, one, bringing it to markets and letting people try it out, and then 2, doing more videos about it, 3, doing more email marketing about it, it's just taken off. It's taken off. And this particular one, superb. I'm so excited to see where it goes in 2023. On to our worst sellers. So this year, I launched 2 different product categories. So this year I launched 2 new product categories, body butter and also reed diffusers. So it's interesting to see how our customers are gravitating towards both, and how the market works, and what works in either markets in person or online. And so this is a mix. So I'm starting with the bottom, the very, very, very bottom. Our very bottom said is our peony and patchouli reed diffuser. Now, it's not the scent per se, because the scent itself is also in our room and linen spray, and it's also in candles. The scent does very well in our room and linen sprays and candles. However, maybe people do not necessarily like it in the reed diffuser, or maybe people don't gravitate towards it as often as other scents. And that's perfectly fine. So that is the absolute bottom. Right above that is our Palo Santo wax melt. Now, I have reevaluated our numbers, and I'm really, really sad to say that we unfortunately will be discontinuing our wax melt line. Now, we started our wax melts in 2021 when we had launched. So around the time we launched, maybe a couple months later, 3 or 4 months later, we added wax melts. I thought they did okay. Maybe I didn't look at my 2021 numbers close enough, and they're only 2.5% of our business. And that's very, very sad. And to me, I'm just like, it doesn't make sense to continue with it. Even though the scents do well, we initially launched our wax melts in the same scents that our room and linen sprays are in. And because we thought, oh, hey, the room and linen sprays do really well, maybe they'll also do well in the same scents and wax melts. They did so, but it wasn't enough to continue the line. It's just not enough. It fiscally does not make any sense. And sad to say, the rest of the worst sellers on this are also wax melts. So it's Palo Santo. Palo Santo happens to be one of my favorite candles to burn. It's really warm, it's really relaxing. It's also it's a top seller with our room and linen sprays. It's one of the hits. It didn't do well in the wax melts because none of the wax melts did well. Right above the Palo Santo are our long matches. I knew this, and that's because since inception, we've only sold about 3. So I'm not surprised. I knew I would have to discontinue it or try to figure out a way to either one, make it work, do some kind of bundle deal, not sure. So that's on there. Another thing, right above that is our blackberry and saffron wax melt. So for the fall, we decided to launch wax melts with our fall collection. Now, while our candle tints did very well, the blackberry and saffron was our #1 seller in our fall collection. It did not do well in the wax melt, and that's because I feel like wax melts, our customer doesn't necessarily like the fact that you have to buy a separate accessory. We don't sell the wax melter on our site, so it makes it hard for them to bundle it, and especially if you're not a wax melt person. So sometimes you have to reevaluate things, and that's something we have to reevaluate. So our last worst seller is our spiced mint. Now, I was really, really excited for this spiced mint candle. We got a lot of great comments and people were excited and this, that, and the other. However, it just did not do well for us at all. It was our worst fall candle, and it was like sneaking by to get rid of it before our winter collection launched. So it was one of the last candles to actually go out the door. Yeah, it just did not do well at all. And I was very, very surprised, and I'm like, maybe people don't like the mint, or it's not our customer, and that is okay. So just because you like the fragrance doesn't mean your customers are going to like it. And so I'm like, it's a lesson learned. So those are the things in our collection that did well and that didn't do well. And I hope you all look at your numbers and you go over this. It's a fun exercise. And actually, it's really good to know what does well, what you need to get rid of, and what you could learn and turn 2023 into a really great success. All right, you guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment for more videos like this. Bye, you guys.